What is up, fight fans? I am Jason Burgos for Sherdog.com, and I am joined by one of the top lightweights in all of Bellator, a former division champion, arguably the best grappler in the entire promotion, and a man who, at Submission Underground 19, took the Craig Jones challenge. He is here to talk all about it and the latest with his fight career, and that is the one and only Brent Primus, not Primus. Brent, my man, thanks for the time to talk SUG 19 and Bellator.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
So before we get into how this matchup went yesterday, when people watch this, we record the next day, I just wanted to learn how it all came together. You are not new to SUG, but this was your second appearance for them. You were supposed to face like Boogeyman in August. That fight didn't come together and stuff like that. But when you get the call or text from Chael, however he does it, with the idea to go against Craig Jones, is the response like, oh shit, what really? Because despite like losing to Mason, he's one of their biggest names, just a huge name for them, and just a huge name in grappling circles in period. And does getting that match say a lot about what Chael thinks of your grappling talents, despite, you don't got a bunch of ADCCs or EBI titles, but clearly he was showing you a lot of love during the broadcast and how much he respects your grappling.
Hell yeah, man. Chael's the man. Besides he's calling me like Primus or something. I don't know what he's calling me, but yeah, man, it was weird. I got a call like 2 months ago almost, and they asked if I want to go against Cowboy Cerrone.
Oh.
And so me and Cowboy were gonna go at it, and I was like, oh man, it's kind of weird because I've trained at the BMF ranch, and I respect Cowboy a lot, man, and he's the man. And so I was like, I don't know. So I messaged Cowboy, and knowing Cowboy, he's just like, man, fuck it, let's do it, man. You know me, let's do it. So I was like, all right, cool. So I thought I was gonna go against Cowboy, and then I got somebody said that that's not gonna happen. He's going against RDA, and I was like, oh man, that's weird. So I waited like a month, and actually like right before Thanksgiving, like 2 days before Thanksgiving, I got a call saying you want to go against Craig Jones, and I was like, oh, what the hell? And I was like, what the shit? But at that time, I was training for a fight for December 10th for Bellator, so I was in really good shape. And I was like, man, it's not exactly what I've been training for, but let's do it, So I was like 3 weeks out or something like that, but I was in really good shape. And so, I took the fight with Craig Jones, and I trained, I stopped doing my MMA somewhat, and then started doing a bunch of the SUG rules and stuff like that. And yeah, man, it was good, but one thing, like I popped my rib sparring, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And I got a big knot in my rib now, and so I had to last 2 weeks I really had to limit my training. I couldn't play off my bottom. I couldn't do any guard. I couldn't have everybody on my back. I couldn't do overtime rounds like that. So that just the last 2 weeks have been really hard to train, and my ribs have been burning. It hurts so damn bad when it gets hit and I twist. And so just that alone, like, man, my mental game and physically just going into the cage kind of sucked. And I thought that I could, bullfight, kind of run away and kind of be elusive and go to the overtime rounds with my rib. But, man, I like to pass. I'm kind of aggressive, and he played a really aggressive game compared to what he usually does. And it just didn't happen that way, and it was cool though, man. It was awesome. I'm not going to take anything away from Craig. He's the man, and I just know that if you want to have a chance to beat somebody like Craig Jones, you have to go in there 100% mentally good and healthy physically. And I just wasn't there, and I learned. I mean, he's the man. I just it sucks. I just wish I could go in there 100% and give it my all. Because I know that wasn't my all, but. You live and learn, man. It's part of the martial art game, and it's what it is.
And it's interesting you bring up those various elements that really put you at a disadvantage, because I interviewed Craig maybe 5-6 months ago, and he talked about how he felt that at the highest levels with guys like him that are doing this all the time, all year round, when an MMA fighter comes in and they're not just specifically training and grappling all the time like he is, he feels like they're outmatched. They're kind of coming in like a one-armed man away. You were in that position in MMA, and doing this fight that could have happened in December. How much did you get to train specifically in total, would you say, for this kind of matchup for his kind of like aggressive butt scoot kind of style that not really many people are really doing like he does it? Like, how much did you really get to specifically prepare for a Craig Jones kind of grappling talent?
Only probably just because I popped my rib and I couldn't really do much. Only probably a week or two, you know, and that sucks. But I was just like, I was in really good shape physically for MMA, you know, and so my body just felt really good. And I don't know, it sucks, man. It is, and I was 175 when I got the call, and so it was right before Thanksgiving. So I was like, oh man, if I'm not gonna fight at 155, this means I can eat. Because I heard Craig's like at 215 or something like that, and I was like, man, he's like 30, 40 pounds bigger than me. Like, so at Thanksgiving, I ate a bunch of food and everything, but yeah, man, it was cool for sure.
You had to play on the defensive a lot, I'm sure, also because of the injuries and, you know, not being 100%. Where do you feel you, like, made some key mistakes that if you were to get a second chance with him that you would definitely, you know, adjust it and switch around? Where do you feel there were certain moments like, you know, I messed up right there, and you know? Yeah,
man. I think I would have not been so aggressive for sure. You know, I would have. I think I was too aggressive. And that's how I play my game. I like to smash pass, and I like to be aggressive. And even my coach told me, he's like, man, this is all about you. You have to control yourself, man. Like, you can't be going at him. And it's hard, man. And it just sucks, man. It's one of those things you always wish you could do over, man. And I've been thinking about it. It's been killing me. And then, you know, I felt my collarbone pop, like, in one of our first scrambles in there. And it was just like when he's going for the guillotine or switching it to the anaconda, or all his weight was on my head, and so I pushed you know, into him and just popped my head out, and I felt the pop.
Oh.
And I just shook my left arm a little bit, because I heard that if you break your collarbone, you can't move your arm at all. And so I shook it and it moved, so I was like, okay, I'm good. And then it just I just didn't have strength in it, and it just wasn't man, it's weird. I just didn't have strength in it. You know, it kind of reminded me of like when you're dreaming and you just like you're trying to run, you can't run. You know, I just like was trying to pull and squeeze, and I just didn't have anything. You know, and but it didn't hurt in the cage. It didn't hurt. I just didn't have function with it. And then as soon as I got out of the cage, man, I couldn't lift my arm. It was hurting so gosh damn bad. And then I just went to the doctor today, and they did like X-rays, and I dislocated it, and it popped out right here.
Wow.
And then I go an MRI specialist, because my muscles ripped off of my bone, but they're going to see how bad it is, you know. And so I'm just hoping and praying that it's not surgery, because that would be really crappy right now, I'll tell you that. Especially when my whole body feels good, you know. So, yeah, so we'll see how it goes for sure.
Two things there. One, I mean, getting to battle Craig Jones and getting a victory at Craig Jones, it means a lot. I'm sure, especially to you, how long you studied grappling, jiu-jitsu for so long, and much it means you. It just means in combat sports in general. But why not just cancel the bout, you know, not 100%? Because in the grand scheme of things, your MMA career is what's most important, and getting back in the cage and making that money is most important. Why not bypass the fight, maybe not take a chance? And two, are these injuries, the collarbone, could it be something that really derails your MMA career for, like, you know, 4 or 5 months if you need surgery?
Gosh damn, I hope not. You know, that's one thing that I went through with my wife and my coach. I was like, man, my ribs like hurting really, really bad. It hurts to take deep breaths and twist and you know, just be in my guard, sitting up, and we talked about it, and we just I took a couple of days off, and then we just came up with a game plan where I'm just gonna kind of bullfight, like I said, bullfight and kind of stall. And not only that, you know, it's Christmas. I needed the money, and not only that, it's just a humongous opportunity, man. I was gonna get Craig Jones, and and in my eyes, like, man, you never know. But man, with somebody like Craig Jones, he's one of the best guys in the world, man. You got to be 100% when you go against that dude, man. And but he's a beast, man. He played an awesome game. His transitions were awesome, man. So hats off to him. He's a stud.
Does he live up to the hype? You know, everything that's talked about him and everything. Did you, like, you know? And I, of course, you weren't 100%. You weren't the best version of yourself. But like, did he live up to the hype? Was he as good as advertised in your mind?
Yeah, man, I think he was awesome for sure. You know, I think he's awesome. I definitely 100% think I could have done way better. You know, if I was healthy. You know, but at the same time, I hate saying that because I don't want to take anything away from him. But
Yeah.
man, my mental game was so off. I was so stressing out, like just not being able to explode and twist, doing all those overtime rounds, like you know, I wanted to and everything. But man, when you're a competitor, there's always that thing in the back of your head. It's like, man, I know I can do this. You know, like no matter what, or like there's always a chance. You know, and I don't know. It just sucks, man. But you live and learn.
And now switching gears to the Bellator stuff, and also to kind of go in this direction, mention that you want to do this because you need the money. I feel like every time we talk, I'm asking you about like your inactivity with Bellator. Since 2014, I was looking up. You've only had one fight a year for them. Some of that has been bad luck with injury stuff like that, but just as much, if not more, has been Bellator maybe just not getting fights. Michael Chandler and his stuff at times being weird, which blows my mind. As a former champion, one of the promotion's best talents, that you're not being more active. When we talked last time, you had signed to fight for July, and obviously that didn't happen. You told me now that December you were maybe looking at a day in December. That actually obviously didn't happen. Bellator has put on quite a few cards in Connecticut over in Mohegan Sun. Why the heck were you not on those cards? Did you, and do you just get to a point where you feel like does Bellator dislike me or something? What the hell's going on here?
It's definitely crossed my mind. I fought one time this year, and I went through three training camps all the way out to like a week or two out of when I was supposed to fight, and that really sucks. I spent so much money on conditioning and driving up to Portland, 4 or 5 times a week. And man, it sucks, especially this, the COVID one, it's COVID, and that there's nothing they can do about that,
Right.
which I understand, which sucks because, I was supposed to fight Yamaguchi, and I trained my butt for that fight, and I lost a bunch of weight. And then 6 weeks out from December 10th, my manager called me and said, "Hey, Bellator just called me, and they asked if you want to fight December 10th." And I was like, "All right, yeah, let's do it, man. It's like 6 weeks out. My weight's not too heavy. I need some money. Let's do this." And yeah, man. So me and my coaches, I was put through hell for 6 weeks, man. I lost almost 28 pounds. I lost 20 pounds, and
Damn.
I was 175. I just had to lose 5 more pounds, and I was ready to cut my weight. And I don't know what happened, and this has happened multiple times. And I don't know. I think they have a lot of guys on their roster, or whatever. But it just seems like they'd want to get me a fight or I don't know, man. It just sucks because literally I trained my butt off, man, and I didn't hear anything until I heard from SUG or whatever. And I called my manager, I was like, "Man, I'm just gonna do this SUG. I haven't heard anything." Yeah, man. So that sucked. I don't know. So I was trying to get 3 fights this year, and that did not happen because of COVID. And then something happened with December 10th. I don't know if they just couldn't give me an opponent or what happened, but yeah. So that sucks. And then I saw Yamaguchi. We were supposed to fight July 17th, I think it was, and then it got shut down because of the COVID. And so I thought that they would reschedule us, and then I saw that he was on December 10th, not fighting me, and I was like, "What the hell? Why?" And then I saw that he missed weight by like 8 pounds or 7 pounds or something like that. I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" I would have been pissed if I fought him in July. I cut my weight and did all that crap, and we didn't fight. Oh my god, I'd be pissed. So, but anyways, yeah, that sucks for sure. But yeah.
I mean, you see fighters in the UFC like recently, and they're all have gone to Bellator. But Romero, Anthony Johnson, Corey Anderson asking for the release. Has that ever crossed your mind? Because if you were a free agent, one championship would certainly call, all kinds of promotion call. You'd no doubt a PFL will call, and you would have, without a doubt, a season consistently fighting every 6-8 weeks, a chance at $1 million. Has that ever crossed your mind? Like, this just isn't working with Bellator. They just don't seem to get me the fights I want. I'm fighting once a year. I'm not making anywhere near the money I should be. I'm not getting any younger. Have you ever thought, like, talk to Magic, could Bellator release me? I'd rather try it out somewhere else.
Yeah, it's definitely crossed my mind, man. It's just hard for my, it's hard, man. I need at least 2 fights a year.
Yeah.
And, it has crossed my mind. I definitely. I like Bellator, but I definitely need more fights.
Yeah.
And it just sucks, man. I feel like I'm literally. I was hanging out with Cowboys and we were talking a bunch, and I just feel like, I should have a lot more fights, and I'm wasting the most valuable time of my
prime
career.
years. Yep.
And I think that's the biggest thing is I'm just wasting such awesome prime time right now. Like, man, in sparring, I feel so good, man. Like, I feel so good, and for December 10th, I felt awesome, man. My training was so good, and it just sucks, man. I feel like I'm doing awesome things, just not in the Bellator cage, which is shitty.
Bellator has been switching things up from like the norms that they've had the last couple of years. Like I mentioned, rankings may be coming soon. They're going with like a youth movement, seeking out talent from LFA a lot more than they ever did before. But they are still hesitant on interim titles. Does it now more than ever seem like the time for an interim title fight at lightweight? Because who knows how long Patricio could be busy with the damn the featherweight Grand Prix. Or do you feel if he wins his semifinals fight, he's in the finals, he needs to just vacate the title, and when he's done at featherweight with the Grand Prix, he can be the first in line for a title shot at lightweight?
Yeah, I 100% think so, man. Like, do that that belt, or if he wins and he's going to the finals, then I think he should give up that belt, and he even said that he's willing to give up the belt if his brother fights for the belt or whatever, and I think me and him would be an awesome fight, and that's another guy that I signed the contract for. Is me and him were supposed to fight, and I went through half of a camp to fight that dude, Patricio. So I think that would be cool to do that, and yeah, something, man. I think it's whack. They're just kind of stalling out the 155 division, and I hope they really get like an actual Bellator ranking system. I think that would be cool, if they're actually going to put out real rankings and everything. I keep on seeing it, but it's like unofficial and stuff. So I think if they did real rankings, it'd be a lot easier to match up fights and see who's up for the belt and do have 1 and 2 for who's up next for the belt. I don't know. I think they should just have an official ranking system, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10. So it'd be a lot easier. So not only that, like I remember when I got done fighting Chandler, or when he took the belt back from me, like I was getting offered guys that were coming off 3 losses and stuff like that. And then I fought guys, in England and stuff like that weren't even really ranked and stuff like that. And I was like, man, it seems like I should be fighting Yamaguchi or Henderson or somebody that's ranked at least when I lose the belt. And I was just like, I kind of think that's kind of weird. So I think there should be definitely some ranking systems for sure.
Does that almost add on to the feeling of like, do they have some kind of issue? Like, how have they not booked Benson Henderson and you? Like it seems like everybody's gotten to fight Benson Henderson in this division except for you almost. Like, how does that fight not happen?
Dude, I swear I've signed a contract to fight every 155er in the division. I was supposed to fight Vincent Henderson, and I was training my ass off to fight that guy. Then I got a call saying, no, you can't fight in California because you were over the 10% body weight when you fought there last time. I was like, what? Wow. Why did you guys tell me this before I signed the contract? Or at least not like a month in my training camp, So, and which